Thank you for all you've said. But then I would want us to look at this from the perspective of David and Saul. You made a reference earlier on that God reproves kings. And that is the scripture that presides the one we are dwelling on today. We are more concerned about our own attitude when we walk under a leadership that doesn't seem to be of God anymore. So we want to be sure of how we react or how we behave ourselves under that kind of leadership. So Saul deviated from the will of God, he disobeyed, and he was rejected. And David was anointed in his stead. And after that, David began doing exploits. And the wicked nature of Saul came out because he already lost his place. So from that moment where God says that I've rejected Saul, everything became wrong. Everything became wrong. But then David was afraid to lay hands on Saul. So we need to be sure of exactly how we ought to operate. Because if you look at the environment and the situation of things in the world right now, a lot of persons want to take the cause to their hands. And then sometimes we are persuaded to believe that what we are doing is right. And sometimes when we don't talk, we want to use scriptures like he that knoweth good to do and doesn't do it to him, it's sin. Meaning that we just ought to call a spade a spade. If this person is doing wrong, let's point out and say, everybody will say this person is doing wrong. So we could have said that, okay, David at the same time could have gotten a group of persons together and say, Saul is doing wrong. Saul is a wicked king. Let's bring him down. Let's dethrone him. Let's fight against him. And he would have prevailed against Saul. But David didn't do that. Could this be an example that will lead by? If this is an example that will lead by, then how do we now marry it with what Paul said when he said that when we have such leadership, we just have to disassociate from them or we throw them out?